Hello guys, welcome back. Today I decided to tell a story about my crazy childhood, I guess you'd call it. I mean, I was pretty much an adult when this happened, but it's whatever. I still lived with my parents, so if you've read the title, this is going to be about my dad. Not specifically my dad, but us, like, moving away from my dad. We were trying to get away from him, but then my mom ended up bringing him back. We moved, and then he moved in with us, like, a couple weeks later, and I was so irritated. I love my dad, just a disclaimer, I love him. Our relationship is a little bit better now, but growing up, I did not have the best childhood, so... And a lot of it had to do with him, of certain situations that involved my dad, because my dad's an alcoholic, so he's not always the easiest to be around. So growing up, my parents fought a lot, and my dad was very verbally and emotionally abusive. I always hoped that they would divorce and that my mom would leave. Every time my dad would come home, I was scared that he would just start throwing stuff and yelling, and I hated it. And it usually was not towards us, it was towards my mom, which doesn't make it better, but it still was scary to be around, and it just wasn't fun. So one day my mom decided that she couldn't take it anymore and she was going to plan to leave. The plan was we were going to go look at trailers because that was the cheapest that we could find. We planned it, and we decided that we were going to do it without him knowing, because we didn't want him to know where we were. We didn't want him to come with us. We also didn't want to start a big huge fight if he found out. We did find a place. We would start packing things little by little. I remember my room was covered in Jonas Brothers posters, and I took them all down eventually, and it was like getting to like the night before, and I remember him telling me, why are you taking all your posters down? And I had to come up with a lie, which made me feel terrible, but I was like, well, my friends make fun of me. They're always making fun of me and saying I'm a child for having my posters up, so I just decided to take them down. And he was like, oh, well, like, don't let people get to you. Don't listen to what they have to say. If that's what you want to do, you do it and express yourself. And I was like, wow, I feel terrible. What happened was, when we were talking about this, my mom talked with a couple friends, I talked with a couple friends that were like the kids of her friends. So we all like had a little plan. They were gonna help us move. My uncle helped us move. He gave us a couch so that because we had no furniture. All we had was our beds and maybe a couple other things, and that was it. So we started moving all of our stuff out as soon as we woke up. We woke up at like 8 in the morning, because he usually would leave around that time at like 3:30 in the morning, and he'd get off in the afternoon to like late evening, because he was a truck driver at the time. So we had a time that we had to get out before he got home. So we moved all of our stuff out, and we started going to the new place. And I remember the first like 4 nights being there and not hearing my parents fight, and it was just me and my mom and my 2 brothers and then our dogs, and it was the most peaceful I've ever been. Like, I've never slept so soundly. I remember there was like this light outside my window, because I had like the front of the trailer, that's where my room was, and I was like, wow. And I was just staring out at like the night, and I was just like, this is just so nice to not have to like just lay here and hear arguing, or my dad just throwing a fit about something, or blasting music, because he loved to blast like country music until he decided he wanted to go to sleep. It was just like he wasn't really considerate of other people. But then I remember I was hanging out with my friend and we decided to go out that night to eat. And then I got a phone call from my mom, so I answered it, and I was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, hey, I don't know how to tell you this, but your dad is going to be moving back in a couple of days. Like, he's going to move here with us. And I was so upset to the point where I was like, I'm not coming home tonight. Like, I don't even want to talk to you. I was so upset. I was like, we did all this. We moved away from our friends. I mean, like, they were in driving distance, but how me and my brothers got around, we walked. So I was so mad I didn't go home that night. I was like, I don't even want to talk to anybody. And my dad did end up moving in. And we kind of were standoffish towards him because we didn't know how to handle it. We just picked up and moved our whole lives somewhere else for him to just come back. And we were like, great, now he's really gonna be mad because he's like, I know what you guys like think now, that you don't want to be around me. He was nice for a couple weeks and then it started going downhill again. That's the story of how we moved away from our dad and then he moved back and then we were upset. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you stayed and enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day and bye.